Hey guys, so today I'm bringing you a how to go natural video. I know there's a couple videos on YouTube that give a few tips or whatever on how to start out and whatnot, but I want to give you guys just the detailed rundown of everything that you will need to start out this natural hair journey. Because I wish that there was a video out like that when I first started. But anyway, that's fine. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so tip number one, you have to decide if you rather big chop or transition. Now me personally, I've been through both those situations. But yeah, that's first thing on the agenda. You have to decide what you want to do. Are you going to cut off the damage, be bold and stuff, or are you going to gradually cut it off until it's at a length that you're comfortable with? So yeah, really making that decision is all about your comfort level. Tip number two is to figure out what hair type you have. There are so many different hair types out there, beautiful different textures, whether it's loose curls or tight curls, whatever the case is. But it's really important to figure out what curl pattern that you have, what texture you have. And that might be a little difficult if you have not big chopped yet, because if you're transitioning and you still have those really straight ends at the bottom of your hair, it's not showing you your real curl pattern. Almost imagine like a curly balloon string, right? And if somebody tied a tiny rock to that balloon string, it stretches out the curl, of the string, right? That's what's happening with your curl pattern if you haven't cut off those ends yet. So once you've decided what you're gonna do, what decision you're gonna make in terms of big chopping and transitioning, you need to figure out what your curl pattern is. It's really important to research hair care for your hair type. There's so many different textures out there. Some stuff that might work for some people might not work for you because your hair texture is different from theirs. So figure out your hair type. Third thing that I have for you guys is to figure out your hair porosity. Bottom line, hair porosity is there's a low, there's a medium, there's a high. High means that basically it takes in product and moisture easily. Low meaning it's the struggle to have your hair digest the moisture.
Real quick, the hair porosity test, basically you get a cup of water, you pull out a hair strand, and if the hair strand sinks all the way to the bottom, then you have high porosity hair. Your hair takes moisture very well. If your hair just sits on top, that means you have low porosity hair that is very hard for moisture, liquids, whatever, to seep into your hair shaft. And if it sinks in the middle, then you have medium.
Very important to figure out what porosity hair you have, because based off that, you figure out what products you need. So you gotta figure out your hair porosity, or else you will be on a frenzy, experiencing fail after fail after fail. Tip number 4, I'm gonna say minimal heat. I know a lot of people like to say no heat, and I don't really agree or believe in that. I'm not saying flat iron your hair every other week. No, that's ridiculous. You're not gonna go natural the right way doing that. What I'm saying is, I know some people only flat iron their hair like once a year based off the fact that they think like, oh, you gotta be team no heat all the time in order for your natural hair to prosper. I don't agree with that. So I'm gonna say minimal heat. Even with my wash and goes, if they're a little too short for my liking, I will blow dry my roots. That means heat. So, I don't really agree with the whole no heat, don't touch it, leave it all alone type stuff. Now granted, if you have transitioning hair, you kind of need to leave the heat alone. But if you big chop and your hair is completely natural, I think it's okay if you want to flat iron your hair 2, 3, 4 times a year. That's not gonna kill your hair. But don't flat iron your hair every other week or every month or whatever like that, because you're gonna get heat damage for sure. Oh, and always make sure that you use a heat protectant when you are using heat. That is very key. That is a major key. Tip 5 is detangle with caution. Good tools to use for detangling. Wide tooth combs. Your fingers are literally your best friend. And I know a lot of naturals love the Denman brush. Now let me tell you guys something that I've kind of observed about the Denman brush as of lately, which is why I've kind of slowly started moving away from it. Whenever I'm brushing my hair, I literally hear the Denman brush snapping my hair. And this is the crazy thing about going natural and stuff. Some stuff works for people and some stuff doesn't. I think if you have really kinky curl patterns, so let's say maybe anything in the 4s, I personally would not use a Denman brush all that often. Because your hair is so kinky and tight and stuff, it's harder to detangle with a brush, and I feel like the Denman brush causes me a lot of breakage because my curl pattern is so kinky. I know for other people with maybe like 3A, 3B, even 3C hair sometimes, it glides right through their hair really nice and really defines their curls. But the way my curls are set up, 4A, it doesn't work like that. But I mean, test out a Denman brush for yourself. Don't let me sway away from you because maybe it's just me. But I don't really think Denman brushes are the best for kinky or textured hair. Tip number 6, low manipulation hairstyles. I feel like everybody has kind of possibly heard about this, but I will touch on it just a little bit. Low manipulation hairstyles equals sew-ins, Marley twists, braids, braid out, twist out hairstyles where you don't always have to be in your hair all the time. Sometimes playing in your hair too much, brushing it, combing it too much, that causes split ends, that causes breakage. Your hair just needs a break from you sometimes. So using low manipulation hairstyles saves you both time, energy, and it helps with your hair growth tremendously. Tip 7. Girl, trim when necessary, because all that's gonna do is further hinder your healthy natural hair journey. But yeah, I'm gonna start trimming my hair. Basically, whenever I feel my hair, that's the thing, I don't think you should set a time limit on when to trim your natural hair. When it feels like it needs to trim it. So don't be waiting no half a year, don't be waiting no year, because granted, yes, your hair will still grow. It might grow past your little goal that you set for yourself, but when the time comes to trim it,
what does that matter when you hit your goal when your hair has to go right back to where it was? Because you got to cut off all them bad ends, all them split ends, all them knots.
Girl, let it go. Tip number 8, I don't know how many of you guys have heard about the L.O.C method or the L.C.O method. L.C.O, which stands for liquid cream oil, then L.O.C, which is liquid oil cream. Tip number 9, you guys need to develop a regimen. If you don't know what a regimen is, a regimen consists of basically what day you're gonna wash, what day you're gonna pre-poo, what day you're gonna deep condition, what day you're gonna style your hair, what day you're gonna add moisture in your hair again after having that styling for a little bit. I know that seems like a lot. But along with developing your regimen, what day of the week is good for you and whatnot, you gotta stay consistent with your regimen to see any growth in your hair. Not even just growth, but the health of your hair. To see it really, really prosper, you gotta stay consistent. You can't do it one week, then not do it for another month. You're not gonna see anything happen. So develop a regimen and stay consistent with it. Tip number 10, the products that I think that you will really need to start this natural hair journey the right way. Product number 1, you are going to need a sulfate shampoo. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh my god, did she just really say that? Because a lot of people say stay away from that stuff because it strips your hair. Granted, that is very true. That's why I'm not saying to use it all the time. What I'm saying is you need a sulfate shampoo to use maybe once a month because it gets rid of built up products that you have in your hair, the gel, the creams, the leave-ins, the oils. You can't have that sitting on your hair forever. If your pores in your head are clogged from all that product, how do you expect your hair to grow? But on the other hand, for the other 3 weeks in that month, you need to find a co-wash or a sulfate-free shampoo. Both of those cleanse your hair without stripping your hair's natural minerals and oils. Another product that you're really gonna need is conditioner. It helps to soften your hair and makes your hair a lot more manageable. And speaking of conditioner, you're gonna need a deep conditioner. Deep conditioners help with keeping your hair strong as well as moisturized. So deep conditioning once a week is crucial. Next product you're gonna need, either a leave-in conditioner and or a styling product. Those both help enhance your curl definition as well as add moisture to your hair, which brings me into the final product that you really need to find for yourself, an oil. The job of oil is to seal and lock in your hair's moisture. So find an oil, ladies. Tip 11 that I have for you guys is when you are sleeping, ladies, you gotta either wear a bonnet, silk or satin, you gotta either wear a scarf, silk or satin, or you gotta at least, if you're not gonna do either one of those, sleep on a silk pillowcase. You got to. You got to. You got to. Final tip for you guys, tip number 12 is to not use a towel when you are coming out the shower and drying your hair. Y'all, don't do it. It causes breakage, it causes split ends, it will be the death of your hair. Instead, use a big old t-shirt and go ahead and wrap your hair up. It does not break, it does not snag, nothing. Your hair is safe within that. I know a lot of people buy the little fiber turbans or whatever you can get from Walmart. I'm cheap, so I haven't done that. I just use a t-shirt. Either way, do what you want, but don't use a towel to dry your hair. Alright though guys, that's about all the tips and tricks and whatever that I had for you guys. I hope you guys found this very informative and helpful. And yeah, until next time.